What's up, guys? Steam here, coming at you from the trenches of the pandemic. Well, the trenches of the pandemic studio anyway. Given the current state of the industry, a lot of people are either unable to find vapor products due to a ban/proposed ban, heavily taxed when they can, or are scared of the technology because of the media. Speaking of toxic subliminal media, has anyone caught the show Upload on Amazon Prime? Amazing show, but what a shame they had to demonize vaping.
The patient is suffering from chronic vape lung, non-contagious.
Mr. Anthony, you simply can't keep meeting like this.
Well, I don't think we will be much longer.
Dad, come on.
I mean, come on, Hollywood. Way to push a subliminal agenda, huh? Anyway, at a time when things appear bleak, especially for everyone in New York, man, I feel sorry for you guys. Is this the time to quit vaping? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Okay, let's kick this off with a little bit about me and my background with vaping. Well, the short version anyway. So you know a little bit more about me. I started vaping in the summer of 2013, so coming up on 7 years total. I was introduced to vaping by my ex-wife's uncle. Hearing her complaints about me smoking, you know, how I stank and whatever, he decided to intervene and gave me an original Nemesis mod and a K-Fun tank. Some of you might remember those. To some of you, it might sound alien. Despite that, like many, I still found it difficult to quit smoking. That was, as I came to learn, because the only juice I had available to me was Boba County's tobacco liquid. It's what he gave me. It wasn't an enjoyable experience for me to kick smoking. Seeing as the government is currently trying to limit us to only tobacco flavors, that's an important note, I believe. It just didn't work for me. That was until a couple of months later, I stumbled into a local vape shop in my town and they let me try a strawberry and cream called OMG. I fell head over heels and I haven't looked back since. For those of you that know me well, you know I dive headfirst into literally anything that I love. It's just my personality. A couple of short months after that, I found myself ordering DIY supplies. In late 2013, I began mixing my own liquid. You can find a good number of those videos and my recipes on this channel. By 2015, I was what some would consider a top public mixer. I just enjoyed sharing my craft with people, and I still do. The following year, I found myself mixing commercially for companies and even attempting to start my own juice company before the FDA crushed my dreams and many others in August of 2016. It was horrific. If any of you remember the PMTA process, the whole announcement of deeming regulations, nightmare, especially for people who were in business at that time. Needless to say, I've been vaping for roughly 7 years and a professional level mixer for around 4 years. Vaping is who I am, and it's what I've grown to love. Given all of that information, what are my thoughts on quitting vaping? Should we? Or shouldn't we? Vaping as we know it has a relatively young history in comparison to traditional tobacco. Chew, cigars, cigarettes, etc. have been around for over 2,000 years. Smokeless tobacco, or vaping, as we've come to know it, has really only existed since 2001, so not even 20 years. Even so, smokeless tobacco, as the FDA would like it to be called, has already grown to a 20 plus billion-dollar industry in its short lifespan. With the overflow of angry soccer moms, propaganda, media coverage of the THC vaping stories of last year, I'm sure everyone remembers that. Media outlets chasing views through clickbait titles and the greedy nature of our all-powerful but naive government. We've all seen a great number of conversations centered around vaping and quitting vaping and banning vaping. There's been a lot of discussion about all of that in light of recent events with COVID. As such, let's first dismantle some popular but untrue misconceptions. The public is bombarded with bad science when it comes to vaping. Let's take a little time to clear some of that confusion up for people who are not in the know. First, vaping has been proven to be safer than traditional tobacco by at least 95%. That's a very significant number. This has been covered in depth by British public health authorities and to this day unable to be proven false by any anti-tobacconists globally. Vaping is not a gateway to smoking. The powers that be would like you to think that, but it simply isn't true. I know of literally zero vapors that recommend vaping to someone who doesn't smoke. Likewise, I don't know of a single vapor that suggests someone should switch to smoking traditional tobacco after vaping. As outlined by the Royal College of Physicians, e-cig use is limited almost entirely to those who are already using them or have used tobacco. There's a link to that excellent article you can find in the pinned comment below. Make sure you check that out. Also, vaping is a tool. Its very creation was and is centered on saving people from a lifelong addiction to its more dangerous counterpart, smoking. The media and government would like you to think their methods of quitting smoking are more effective. However, a completely randomized trial with vaping versus a wide range of nicotine replacement products was conducted by experts. And to spare you a long-winded summary, guess what method won out? Not surprisingly, vaping did, of course. You can find the official trial study in my pinned comment below as well. The claims been made 1,000 times through screaming matches on Facebook and other platforms, despite the science being real and being readily available. As a side note, is anyone else saddened by people's inability to debate peacefully? Because it really bothers me. I'll end the facts and myths segment of this video with this. I'm referring to the argument, we just don't know what it'll do to our lungs. How many times have we heard that? This debate has gotten very old, but it's still debated. There's a 3.5 year, let me emphasize this, 3.5 year study that was released in November of 2017. I'll put that study in the pinned comment below as well for your reference. A portion of that document will show you that in a group of young adults having never before smoked, daily vape users who were followed for approximately 3.5 years showed, get this, no development of respiratory symptoms, changes in lung inflammation, or findings of lung damage. Even the heaviest users failed to show any evidence of lung injury. It's over 3.5 years, guys, and there were no changes in blood pressure or heart rate. Pretty surprising that our government, who's all about our safety, and the media wouldn't mention this study, don't you think? Now, let's move on to actually quitting vaping. I think we have to begin with why you would want to quit vaping if you do. Quitting is never up for debate. I mean, sure, I almost always hear someone ask why when someone states they're planning to quit, myself included, but should there be plans to quit, or should we simply vape forever? The answer to this question for you is a very personal one that I cannot, and frankly, I don't think anyone should be able to tell you what you can do or can't do with your body. I personally stand firm with the advocates who have the do what you want, just don't harm me line of ethics. Anyway, I think as stated before, vaping has been proven to be at least 95% safer, right? You yourself have to decide if that 5% harm is worth it. For me personally, I'm not giving it up. Vaping did way more for me than just quitting smoking. It reduces stress by occupying my mind. It delivers nicotine, which has been proven to have substantial health benefits. Contrary to common opinion, nicotine is not a carcinogenic substance.
It's not nicotine you have to worry about. Nicotine is actually has health benefits.
So nicotine's what's addictive.
I don't know, man. It doesn't work like that with me.
You can watch a video on that subject here on the channel as well. It's introduced me to a ton of really awesome people, just truly awesome people in the vaping industry. It's been a source of entertainment and income. It's afforded me the ability to help people, help them quit, help them get jobs, etc., etc. And hey, I wouldn't have learned half the stuff I know about media today if it wasn't for vaping. This entire channel exists because of vaping. Not just that, clients outside of this and so forth and so forth. So, do I think we should quit? Hell no. Frankly, I don't see how this habit is any more dangerous than drinking soda or coffee. There's been 0 studies in its 2 decades of existence confirming it is. So for me, I'm a vapor for life, guys. I'm a vapor for life and I'm damn proud of it. Let me hear your thoughts in the comments section below. Also, I've got some cool stuff coming up on the channel, so stay tuned for that. As you can see, I've been at work preparing for this. It's been a while, but I'm excited to be back. Until next time, guys. Cloud salute.